My next guest says this comes as no surprise. It shows a lack of standard operating procedure at NHTSA, the regulator. Michelle Krebs is a senior analyst at Edmunds.com. She joins me now from Detroit. Michelle, thanks for joining us on this. And I just want to ask you your view, first of all, on Toyota saying that, yes, we will pay this fine.
Well, I think Toyota had to do this. I mean, we all watched on C-SPAN during the congressional hearings that Toyota said they knew of this problem in Europe. They didn't fix it in the U.S. until later. So, it was an admission in front of all of us. So it's not a surprise. Okay,
but the $16 million, I mean, do you have any idea where this number came from?
Well, I think that's the question that has to be asked. What we have looked at Edmunds is how NHTSA does business in general. And there seems to be just no standard operating procedure for anything in terms of investigations, in terms of, how many days or how many complaints it takes to trigger an investigation. And I think the question here is, how did they come up with this number? Maybe it's warranted, maybe it's not. It's just, they need more transparency.
But does that matter in the end, how they came up with this number, or what?
Well, no. Certainly they had to do something, and I think what's very clear is the Department of Transportation is letting the industry know there's a new sheriff in town, and no fooling around accepted. So there are going to be consequences for bad behavior.
Right, consequences, more lawsuits. Some are saying that they're opening themselves up to more lawsuits at Toyota. Any of those going to eventually be very crippling for the company or not?
Oh, I don't think so. I mean, we've already seen that there's, Toyota made a comeback in March in terms of sales. They have a loyal buyer base. They've built up a lot of goodwill over the years, so we have always thought that they would bounce back. And they have deep pockets, so, $16 million is not very much.
Right, indeed. Even if it was $100 million, perhaps, they still have deep pockets for that. Michelle, I want to just switch gears a little bit and just ask about truck sales, because we saw this rebound in March, and some are saying that this is yet another indicator that the economy is on a sustainable recovery. Is that what you're seeing there?
I think it's a little too early to say that. We saw a rebound in truck sales in December that kind of went unnoticed. It actually was a bigger rebound in March, dipped back down again and came back up again in March, largely driven by incentives. Incentives on trucks especially are coming back up again. So I think we're going to see a bumpy ride along the way here. It's not a straight trajectory up.
Okay, so we may not see this outperformance going forward?
No, I think, we'll have some months that we will, some months not. But certainly, I think the other thing is until the housing really start picking up, that is closely tied to the truck industry. Then we'll see some recovery in the truck industry. We're never going to see what it was before.
Okay. All right, Michelle, good to talk with you. Michelle Krebs of Edmunds.com talking about Toyota and truck sales.